morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Thursday, December 5th, 2013. If you're listening on the radio and wish to watch this, go to www.catex.com. Well, news came in from London after the market closed yesterday, indicating that Graham Chilton, one of the legends of reinsurance broking, especially in the London market, is coming back into the arena. Mr. Chilton, of course, is one of the co-founders of the Benfield Group, which he sold to Aon back in 2008 for approximately £935 million. Chilton ended up pocketing about 125 million US from that deal. Since then, he's been involved with an organization called Capsicum, C-A-P-S-I-C-U-M, and Capsicum is involved in motorsports racing, Formula One racing in Britain. His son, Max Chilton, is a well-known race car driver. Chilton is coming back into the market, starting a specialized reinsurance brokerage affiliated with Arthur J. Gallagher Re in London. The Telegraph newspaper in London reported the event yesterday afternoon. Capsicum is going to be the main treaty reinsurance broker for Gallagher and help it compete with rivals that arrange coverage for the biggest risks. Of course, with Aon, Willis, and Carpenter now, Chilton is developing a specialized response to those big three Goliaths. It's understood that Rupert Swallow, a longtime associate of Mr. Chilton, is going to be coming with him. More details are going to be revealed, but it's good news for the market. Mr. Chilton is a very well-known and successful figure. Zurich Insurance Group announced today that they're cutting a key profitability target, and they indicated that they might sell some peripheral businesses in order to bolster the group's financial performance. Zurich, which is Europe's third biggest insurer by market value, said that it would reduce its annual operating profit after tax return on equity from 16% down to between 12 and 14%. The well-known soccer or football team Real Madrid has bought 685 million euros worth of personal accident protection for its team. That comes to about $938 million US. They paid a premium of $9.3 million US for that cover. This is according to a report by a Spanish daily newspaper called ABC. The football club is famous for having bought two of the most expensive players in history, namely Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale. This is a big offloading of risk from the books of the soccer team. Right now in Britain, thousands of homes on the East Coast are being warned to expect major flooding today and tomorrow. This could be the worst tidal surge in 30 years, and in some areas might eclipse the flood levels of 1953, which were the worst coastal flooding the country has ever seen, killing several hundred people. The first tidal surge is expected to arrive overnight, peaking in the early morning. It's going to be followed by a larger surge tomorrow in line with incoming tides. A severe alert was issued last night for Sandwich in Kent on Friday, while the rest of the East Coast is set to a lower amber level. Meanwhile, in Denmark, Scotland, and northern Germany, winds exceeding 100 miles an hour and heavy rain are battering the areas, killing at least one person. Authorities have issued flood warnings. 7,000 people in Northern Ireland are without power. Scottish Rail has suspended all railroad services, and the airport in Hamburg in Germany, one of the main hubs in that country, has canceled more than 120 flights already. A low-pressure system dubbed Xavier may reach hurricane force with wind speeds of more than 140 kilometers an hour as it traverses southern parts along the North Sea there. It's an interesting event occurred last night in Mexico City. Sometimes the National Basketball Association, in an effort to increase its global outreach, plays games in other countries. They had a game scheduled last night in Mexico City between the San Antonio Spurs and the Minnesota Timberwolves. About 15 minutes before the game began, the game was canceled. Apparently a generator went on the fritz and started belching smoke into the locker rooms and into the arena. Fortunately, the fans had not yet arrived in the arena. This all occurred at a glass-clad arena that opened in 2012. It's called the Mexico City Arena. Both teams left the stadium in their respective buses still wearing their uniforms. They could not venture back into the locker room to change into their street clothes. The game has not yet been rescheduled, but you can be sure some event cancellation policy somewhere has been triggered. There was a very rare earthquake off the east coast of Ireland yesterday, down by the southeastern part of the country off County Cork. It was a small earthquake. It was a 2.6, but it was the first recordation of seismic activity in that region since records began. Now here's a news bulletin for you. If you're in the United States, red plastic portable gasoline containers, consumer gas cans sold throughout the United States pose a rare but real explosive hazard that many Americans may not know about. American consumers buy about 20 million gas cans a year, and there are more, approximately, they say, than 100 million gas cans in use in the United States. Lab tests indicate that under certain conditions, gas vapor mixtures can explode inside those cans and cause significant injuries. NBC News prompted this investigation. The Consumer Product Safety Commission of the U.S. government analyzed the issue and found 1,200 emergency room visits involving gas can explosions since 1998. I don't know about you, but I seem to remember TWA Flight 800. The cause of that crash after it took off from JFK Airport was because of vaporous fumes in the fuel tanks somehow igniting, causing the plane to explode. It would not seem to be illogical that that could happen on a very small scale with a gas can. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Look in your homes for your red gas cans and get rid of them. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.